Okay. Okay. Welcome to the closing session of the Dataverse community meeting. It's been, at least for me, hopefully for many of you also, phenomenal, sensational time in the last 3 days. We've heard from many of you in the community about a lot of progress, about contributions you're making, things that you're interested in. I think the sessions by themselves and the participation in each session spoke of the interest in all the topics that we selected, and we selected with the help from the community. So first of all, thank you to all of you. Do we have enough? Well, everybody here to start. Any news from Danny in the other session?
No, not yet, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. So, and thanks. I know that maybe we lost some parts of Europe, given that it's a little bit late. It's getting late for some parts of the world. So, but thanks to all those that are still here with us. So we're gonna do first. I'm gonna do a little bit of introduction of something that we will do at the end of this session. And then we'll go into a summary, very short summary of every breakout session that we've had. The plenary session and other sessions will be available. Most sessions, I think, will be available recording, and the slides will be available. So you'll get to see or either rewatch or watch the things that you've missed. The plenary session was. As we got a lot of feedback, a lot of interest. So if you didn't have a chance to see it, there was a very interesting panel, and hopefully you can about COVID-19, and hopefully you can rewatch it. So I'm gonna share some slides. It's not so easy to get rid of Europe, Slava says. I like that. I agree. Thanks, Europe, for being with us still. Okay, so let me. What I'm gonna do for the is that everybody sees the slides well? You hear me well? Okay. What I'm going to do for the summaries of the breakout sessions is call one of the chairs or one of the chairs be ready to talk, so that they can just summarize that slide. Just go over that slide in a minute or so. So first, though, I'd like to say to share with you the participation. I think I think that most of you know that we had over 750 registrants, and that was total across all the sessions. Not all. Some sessions. I think that a lot of the registrants were shared across sessions. So we had some people that were very consistently, almost all of them. But just yesterday was 11 hours of Zoom continuously. So I don't know, I think that there were some people that joined some sessions, some people joined others. So we had, for the plenary, 275 that we recorded that joined, unique attendees. For the GDCC first session, which was a duplicate, well, the 1 and 2 were the same, was 39 and 46 in the duplicate on the next day. The Portrait Seal, 91. Supporting sensitive data to 204, DevOps installations and automated testing 110, geospatial data 128, encapsulation 102, new features demo 111, flexible metadata session 105, flexible metadata session 2 114, external tools 132, and remote storage large data sets 128. I'm sharing that not because this is any type of competition across the breakouts, but just to show the amazing participation. It was not only the quantity, but the quality and the engagement And I think it was pretty much across all the sessions. But just this morning, just today, we had incredible sessions with of a lot of interest to the Dataverse community, and was very informative. So thanks again to all. Something about the before we go to the next to the summaries about for the end of this session, we will do. We usually, when we come all together to Harvard for in Boston for the Dataverse community meeting, we have a picture that Dwayne takes for all of us, and he's a very good photographer besides many other things as part of the Dataverse team. But so we'll do a picture. Any of you that wants to show your face and wants to be in the picture, just make the video open, and we will do that. But before we do the picture with all of you, we'll do another type of picture that is a little bit different, and I'm going to explain it. It's a little bit of homework you can do now, very, very easy homework. I have to show it to you. I have to stop sharing and remove my my background. So all of you, if you've been inspired in some way during the Dataverse community meeting, or there is something you want to say to this community or the Dataverse project itself, just write one word that expresses your sentiment towards the Dataverse, the community, the project, and everything. I'm going to give you an example. You write a very simple, just one word in a white piece of paper, and just put it like that. You guys see this? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
If you do that with a virtual background, it doesn't work. So that's why I removed my virtual background. So just, Tanya, do you have an example? Or, okay. Yeah, so you have to remove briefly your virtual background and do that. And we will take a picture of everybody's little cube with the word that expresses your sentiment towards the Dataverse project. Is it questions about the homework? You have a few minutes, half an hour to work on the word you want to choose. Okay. No questions? Okay, I don't see. We don't show it yet, but good job, Matt. Matthew, I see. Good. So yeah, keep it a secret, the words, and it will be a surprise, and Dwayne will help us to capture all the squares or so. So, okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. We will get started. I will just go through the slides, but the first, so what do we have first? Oh yeah, first, sorry, one more thing that I want to announce here, that during the community meeting, there's been interest in creating working groups. In fact, the flexible metadata working group was created on the fly during I think it was the session 2, well, metadata session. And what we put together a Google Doc. If we could add it, can one of you add it in the chat? Kaylin, I don't know if you have, or Dwayne, if you have access to that. We'll add it in the chat, and if there are other, we've heard other interest in other working groups for sensitive data, for remote storage. Those will be working groups that the GDCC will organize and will help move forward. If there are suggestions just about what a working group you would like to create, we will work out more a process for detail, well, to provide guidelines for working groups, okay, and reporting back to the community. So yes, share the Google Doc, and add either your name in a working group or a suggestion for a working group you would like to create. Thank you. So we'll start with GDC session. I believe that John was going to talk about that. John, are you there? John Crafting, are you in the audience? No? Jim Myers? Oh.
I don't see John in the audience.
And Jim?
I'm here, but I don't know how to go through John's slide other than any better than you would.
Okay, okay, I'll do it. So we talked about in the GDC sessions, we talked about membership fees that will start in January 1st each year. So with that change from the fiscal year, now it starts with the calendar year. There are new proposed fees for the data site services. And here are the details: 2,000 DOIs per year, 800 euros, 2,000 to up to 10,000, 1,200 euros, and 10,000 and more, 3,400 euros. We talked about, and mostly from Jim, about community collaborations and GDCC repos. And there was of course a lot of the, I mean, this is more coordinating some of these efforts more than actually doing all the work on these efforts. So there are a lot of details in the notes for about the GDC repos, and we talked about it in the different sessions on some of these topics. We also talked about creating an external advisory board and got a lot of feedback on stakeholders and organizations that should be represented. So those are organizations outside Dataverse. And then we got feedback on new services. There was a lot of talk about providing training, maybe webinars, and so about helping researchers, the end users, or the trainers to use Dataverse, to set up Dataverse in the way. We talked about having more information about various Dataverse installations, how they set up the Dataverse, what tools they use, and so, and have those as use cases to share across the experiences, share the experiences, and then requests for development tasks through GDC for Dataverse feature, community features, and so. Okay. Next one, Core Trust Seal. Who will be talking about that?
That's
Sonia,
me, Merce. I'll talk. This is Kaylin Boyd talking. So thank you, Merce, and thank you to all 91 folks who joined us on Core Trust Seal certification breakout session. You can see some background there on the overview left-hand side of the slide if you'd like to get more information. In general, we talked about kind of an introduction to Core Trust Seal certification, what that entailed, and some experiences and challenges that we've encountered when applying for that, and then finally getting Core Trust Seal certification. Most folks who attended were not certified. We had quite a number of new folks to Dataverse who were very interested in in Dataverse, its features, and then also what Core Trust Seal offers. But about 50% of the folks who attended do plan to apply. And even for those who weren't planning to apply or won't apply, there are some general benefits for considering the Core Trust Seal requirements when looking at your repository. So kind of making your repository more robust and just kind of going through the process of thinking through what Core Trust Seal needs can help improve the quality of your repository. We asked our participants in our breakout rooms to consider the main question of how can the Global Dataverse Consortium help support the process of applying for Core Trust Seal. So we've identified a couple of things over on the right-hand side of this screen. For instance, it could help identify the various Dataverse infrastructure elements that support Core Trust requirements, and that's some work that's being worked on by Julian and John. There was also a desire to have a repository of completed / successful applications from Global Dataverse Consortium members so that we could take a look at that. And then also knowing who those folks are. And there's an existing spreadsheet on that. And you might want to click on that to get more information. In addition, there was some desire for Core Trust Seal of Approval related best practices for data curation, and then also maybe a formation of some affinity groups or review groups for those who are going to apply for or in the process of applying for Core Trust Seal. And then some additional things such as a desire for some preferred file formats and lists of Dataverse upgrades or features that would affect Core Trust Seal applications. And then finally, a desire to maybe connect some of the prioritization of Dataverse features and new features coming on board with Core Trust requirements. So maybe bumping a couple of those up higher than they might ordinarily be. And that's basically the summary. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Caitlin. So I'm going to move to the next one, sensitive data. So that we hear somebody else. Is Tanya or Marian here?
I could do it, Merce. I don't know if Marian? Okay. So summary up at the top, the clearer breakdown between sensitive and non-sensitive data and corresponding data tags. The concept that Dataverse already supports blue, green, and yellow data, and the trick is figuring out how to enable that, and especially using some of the tools that are in development in the community. So we heard from 3 presenters about 3 different tools. We heard from Laura of Duns about the data tag schema tool for identifying which data tag to use. We heard from James Honecker of OpenDP about differentially private algorithms to make differentially private releases of data or metadata. And Ilya on the impact project, which is a kind of a suite of tools to enable access via trusted remote storage agent and notary service, so that data can be kept separate and not deposited in Dataverse, yet accessed by trusted people and via trusted systems. So in terms of summary from the community, we heard that people are looking for support determining sensitivity levels. It's complicated and people are looking for a clear guidance. People are looking for near-term possible tools for helping them share either privacy preserving metadata or share data that is no longer sensitive. And we are issuing an invitation to join a working group to help us define these efforts going forward. There's a lot of interest and there's a lot to figure out. So I encourage people to follow the link and add their names.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Tanya. Next one, DevOps deployment automated testing session. A quick summary.
Yes, I can do that. So we had very intensive session, and we started with nice history overview from Don, and after we moved to Docker and Ansible from Pete, and it was nice discussion about what we need to know to run something in development and after in production, and discussion moved more to maturity, and in Europe we are exploring different ways how we can actually create, we can add maturity in Dataverse infrastructure and for all external tools. And we had presentation from EOSC Synergy that even created badges for every component to check maturity. And final presentation was about Kubernetes, and it was done by Oliver. And basically, as conclusion, quality assurance is very important for us here in Europe, and we are spending a lot of time and money to make all these components in Dataverse infrastructure as more mature as possible. And also we are spending time on actually making reusable components for all projects, all communities in Europe. And of course, because we have a lot of languages in Europe, also we are building tools actually to make all translations to be integrated in same maturity model with continuous integration and deployment pipeline. So that's my summary.
Thank you. So just before, just one moment, that seems like based on the timing, we're running out of time, and we wanna go. Well, we have all those slides, and we wanna go through that, but also we wanted to do the picture before people leave. So we'll pause and do that. First the exercise, and then the photo picture. And for those who can continue a little bit, then we'll decide how we move forward. But thanks for staying with us. We realize it's a lot of hours, so we don't. Okay, so are we ready for the exercise? And it has to be everybody doing it, otherwise it's not gonna look good.
Don't forget to turn off your virtual backgrounds.
So that, Dwayne, including you need to show that. How will it be possible to do both?
Well, I'm taking the pictures, so I'm focusing on something else, but I can see everybody.
Right. I just mean that it has to show everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to take, there's going to be 2 windows, so I'm going to take the picture twice.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, is everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Give me one more time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Flower background. I can't see your face. You got to turn off your virtual background. Pascal.
Yeah. You need to show it so that it takes over the entire camera.
Yeah.
We only see the word, and that you don't, and make sure you don't have a virtual background. So basically we don't see your face. In the next picture we'll see your face, but now cover the entire thing.
Got it. Thank you very much.
We'll see what happens with that. Okay, now the picture, right?
Sherry's got a giant cat.
Yeah, we know the cat.
Yeah, he was here 5 minutes ago, but then he decided to leave. So now I have a virtual Tim on the virtual background.
Dwayne, tell us something.
I just realized I'm taking another picture. All right, I'm doing it now.
Let us say 3, 2, 1 or something.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I had already moved on to collecting the other photos. All right, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful, got it, guys. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So I sort of need community feedback here. Do we continue with the presentation, or are we all, well, we ran out of, I mean, we have wonderful slides that people put together, so I hate not to go through it, but also it's late for some of you.
Well, I want to give a
Voting.
toast to the IQSS team and Dataverse. Whoever has a drink.
Oh, yeah.
Toast!
Hooray.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. This is great.
Thanks, Sherry.
But I do miss
Thank you.
my people in person. But this was good.
Gotta love 2 beer and wine.
Pedro, thanks for staying there.
Thank you for the good work.
So, what are people saying? We continue with some slides quickly for a few more minutes? Yeah? Okay. Geospatial is one of the chairs here.
I'm here, I'm Eugene Barski from Vancouver. Just a quick 2 minutes review. We presented about our own Canadian project called Geodesy. We saw lots of interest. We would like to continue working with you guys. We have 3 layers of discovery. We use you guys as the repository, Scholars Portal, Dataverse, GeoServer for publishing and distribution, and GeoBlacklight for discovery layer for research data. Bonnie Burns also presented on Harvard map collection and their move to GeoBlacklight as well. So it's very consistent with our direction. We also had a presentation on the GeoTweet archive, and the overall community, I sensed they was really interested in geospatial discovery, and we had the active discussion with lots of questions, lots of answers. And I've had a feeling that we might want to have a special interest group on geospatial discovery, and I created one just now in the document you guys shared for the working groups. So if you're interested, you can put your name there, and it's going to be fun. Thank you.
Great, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so this we could have in the Google Doc that then created that has been shared in the chat for the working group. Oh, sorry. Is that what I'm here? Encapsulation. I didn't expect this order. So.
Yeah, sorry. Should I speak for the encapsulation?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So, okay, it was a very exciting session. So, essentially, the problem that we presented our audience with was how to document and how to preserve containers, because they are proven to be like lightweight, versatile technology that is used in industry, and now it's becoming more and more popular in research. So we had invited talks, expert talks. We had 4 of them, and then we had also like a little bit of an open discussion. So we heard from Tim Head, who works with Jupyter Hub and Binder, and so he spoke a little bit about like this integration between the Binder and Dataverse and how that works, and proposed also that if these like Docker files are very well captured, then they are more stable than then they're kind of like stable also for the future. Not perfectly, but kind of like the best that we can do. Then the second talk was by Ewan Cochran. He works with Yale University Library, and he presented EASY project, so Emulation as a Service Infrastructure, which was very interesting to see because he also had a demo. So we saw how essentially a small like Windows operating system can be spawned in this infrastructure, and it was really interesting to see. People were very excited to see that. Then we had a talk by Vanessa Sakat. She spoke about Singularity. So that's containers, a newer the container technology that also captures environments from supercomputers. So she spoke about discoverability with Singularity, how we can inspect what is happening in the container, and she also pitched an idea about a data container, which is something interesting potentially for Dataverse. And well, I'm excited to look a little bit more into that. Finally, we had a talk by Vicky Steves, and she spoke about ReproZip and ReproZip server. And yeah, this was also very exciting to see. And she also mentioned other interesting projects, for example, for software preservation. One is called Sarah. So yeah, finally so there was an open discussion.
We need,
and some of the
sorry.
Okay, yeah, sorry, but yeah, well, this is it. But just finally, yeah, there are many interesting tools, and this would be also good to kind of like keep to know these and to have a good management, a big table about them. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, we'll do really lightning.
Yeah, I'll just be very brief. Dataverse 5 is coming soon. Talked a lot about what was going on over the last year, and the release notes process to keep up to date on everything. So keep an eye out for Dataverse 5 very soon. Thank you.
Love the tweet.
Okay, I'll be quick
metadata.
too. We had two sessions. The first one was focused on project updates and near-term projects from community members. Session 2 was focused more on major long-term metadata issues for improving and making Dataverse more interoperable with more vocabularies, more ontologies. Some of the session 1 highlights, there was a lot of good discussion about building custom metadata blocks based on external schemas. Olga Kurek gave a great talk on implementing Darwin core metadata in the open forest Dataverse. We also had some DDI updates, which is what the citation metadata block is largely based on. And Dataverse North gave a really good overview of their recently released best practices guide, which I highly recommend. Session 2 included a few talks on some of the bigger, longer term priorities for improving metadata quality and interoperability. Jonas spoke about leveraging external APIs and building an autocomplete feature, and he was using ORCID as a really good example of some of the benefits and what the specific challenges that are involved with that. Richard Volz talked about the International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center's work to add a drop-down menu that offers embedded metadata suggestions based on agrovoc, that vocabulary. And Philip discussed some outstanding metadata management issues. The discussion included some really good conversations about metadata licensing, interoperability, and with internal and external vocabularies, and combining them, which is seen as a big challenge. The big announcement, however, is the creation of the metadata working group, which is officially happening. Very excited about that. You can visit the document Mercedes shared or that has been shared in the chat to sign up, or there's also some more information in the community notes doc, which we relied on pretty heavily in our session. So please visit that too.
Great, thank you. Very good, great summary. So external tools?
Yeah, so I'm Phil Durbin, and Caitlin Newsom and I had a great session. Oh, we lost the slide, I think. On to the next slide. Can we flip it back, please? Perfect, thank you. Great session. I gave a little bit of background on what external tools even are, which is a way to add more features to Dataverse, and then kind of explain the history of where we came from, where we are now. And then we jumped into a series of excellent lightning talks, 5 minutes each from 9 speakers. Caitlin, who's again also the co-chair, talked about the data curation tool. She also talked about Data Explorer as well. And Jim Myers talked about kind of like how to create your own file previewer tool, which is really cool. He actually showed code, and I was kind of nodding like, okay, I get this. This sounds cool. We had Casper from Wholetail explaining how their whole system work, and that integration is already complete today. You can load up this tool and then explore from Dataverse to Wholetail. James Honecker talked about 2 ravens. And it was funny in Slack, we were talking about like, oh, this seems like a new to Ravens, like because they've been doing a lot of development on this project for machine learning and other tasks. Camille gave a nice demo, slides and demo of like 4 different tools they've created, from 3D viewers to chart viewers and things. Really great work coming out of there. And Xinye showed how they built this search tool for Dataverse that uses existing APIs, really neat stuff. Masa from AstraZeneca explained how they integrated JUMP, which is a statistical program common in the life sciences, with Dataverse. So you can just download via DOI, push data into Dataverse, really neat stuff. Matthew Dunlap talked about Corere. It's all about getting manuscripts published, deep integration with Dataverse, using Binder, all kinds of cool stuff. And then Tomas talked about machine actionable data management plans, and they have that integration working already. I'm gathering all the slides from everybody. We'll be sure to put them up. And the notes that you see at the top also contains some great Q&A that we had at the end. So that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And well, we have the remote large data set. Yeah.
I will go quick on this because it should be fresh in everyone's head, I would hope. But basically, we had a session where it was a little bit over half the time was presentations and the rest was discussions. The presentations, I gave a high-level overview of what has been worked on, what has been recently merged, and really what are the important things to consider when thinking about remote storage and large data sets, so that we can work successfully and get new code merged and external tools created. Then we had a presentation from Megan on what they've worked on Globus Transfer from Scholars Portal. Then John Crabtree talked and gave an overview of trusted remote storage agents. Jim then spoke and talked about a couple things he was worked on recently, which is the ability to have multiple different S3 data stores, and also upload directly, skipping the application server. And then Anna talked about the Dolce project from TDR. And then we did recruit this week 2 quick lightning talks, one from Camille, who presented at External Tools and also at Remote Storage today, so kudos. But he talked about some performance tests on over 500,000 data sets. And then Pete Meyer gave a review of the rsync code that has been worked on over the past few years and has been presented previously. And so then we went to the discussion, and a few highlights from our discussion were that there is definitely support for modularization and for incorporating user feedback and user testing. There was interest in, we talked about a lot of different solutions, but combining different solutions for managing multiple data stores. So, whether it's locally stored, whether it's locally managed, but remote storage like S3, or whether it's remotely managed storage like TRSA, and having different combinations of that. We want to investigate and share policies around storage costs. And, we thought, as with other groups, an idea of a working group around this and have, support from GDCC on that. So, there was a lot of other discussion and questions, and we have a link at the top of this slide here for the notes document to read more about it.
Great. Thank you. So I think we've gone through all the presentation. Thanks a lot. Well, first, thanks the chairs for not only for all of your work preparing, but also putting together the summaries at the last minute. And all the great job you did in your sessions. Thanks the organizing committee, the initial organizing committee within Harvard, with Dennis, Sonia, Dwayne, Katie, Julian, Kaylin, and myself, right? Let me see. Thanks to all the presenters. Thanks to all the attendees. Thanks to all the community. And we couldn't do all this without you. So as always, you make that happen and you make that work. So thanks all of you. I know that we have only a few left, but hey, hardcore community, Database community members here. So so now completely social. Anybody just all unmute yourself and say something.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the organizers.
Yeah, thank
Zoom
you.
does a bad job of being able to talk all at once, but anyway. those. Anybody wants to say something?
Yeah, my cat is not as big as Sherry's, but it's still pretty big.
What's his name, Phil?
This is Tiger.
Tiger.
Brother
Yeah.
Panther's downstairs somewhere.
Well, I've got actually, I don't know if you can see them or not, but I'll turn them around. I have two others. There's Kate and Callie. They are camera shy, not Tim.
There's want to show pets. Danny, where do we have our friend?
Davis, come here. Come on, bud. No, he's not moving.
Okay.
Let's see.
Muzzy.
Oh,
yeah.
I miss Davis.
Probably not all of you know, but Davis comes to the office every day. Dataverse IQSS.
And he spends his days in my office.
We all miss Davis.
Well, technically, he does still come to the office every day, but he just walks downstairs with me.
Right.
My cat would not cooperate for video camera.
Oh, sorry, Matthew. Okay.
Oh, there's another one. There's Aaron.
Oh, Aaron. Hello. What's the name of your dog?
Oh, this is Jake. He's an old beagle.
Oh.
A good dog. And there's a cat behind me, passed out on the bed. There.
Here I can only show kids.
It's like I can show you two teenage boys.
Yeah, Sonia, you're right. Anyway.
Okay,
But,
hopefully we can be together next year. No.
Yes, let's hope that. I know I owe you Sherry salsa dancing. Oh.
Pedro, what does the data say? I don't think it says next year.
We have to. Oh, and here Gustavo
has
Gustavo. The ball ready. So yes, so we will do that as soon as coronavirus let us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well.
Okay, thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Yep.
Thanks, Rory. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, likewise. Okay.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Good to see y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Last one here. Turn off the lights.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out. I'm off right when this is closed.
Dwayne, how did those pictures go, Dwayne?
Oh, they look good. I put the ones I took in a folder on Google Drive.
Oh, okay. So we'll see.
I'll share that.
Tweet it, Dwayne.
We could do some kind of montage, maybe like.
But Dwayne doesn't tweet.
15.
Come on, Dwayne.
Well, we'll share them one way or another. We could add them into the slides, so the summary slides, maybe. Okay.
Awesome. This was
I'm
wonderful.
sure that all of you want to start the weekend. So
Yes, that would be nice.
So
Weekend's already started.
Are you ready, Sonia?
I am ready.
Okay, good.
I will not be on Slack or email or anything else until Monday.
Okay, let's promise ourselves. Let's not be.
On to the weekend.
Let's disconnect. Okay.
All right. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
See you Monday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good job, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Camille. Bye, Natalia.
Have a nice
Bye,
evening.
Luke. Bye, everybody. Okay. Bye, Don.
How to switch it off?